What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our weekly podcast. We are batting practice. I'm Josh. That's Jacob. Andrew is down there. As always, we got a great one for you tonight. Looking forward to talking about some baseball, some so rare. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. How are you
It's
boys
always gonna be
feeling
fun.
tonight? You
It's
excited?
always
You
gonna be
ready?
fun. You're wearing a hockey hat, bro.
I am wearing
Why?
a hockey hat. Okay, I would like to
So
note
why?
this this has been confused for a Cubs hat, and I get the colors and the C, but like if you have eyes, it clearly says nothing remotely close to Cubs.
If anything, it looks like the Reds logo plus like the college logo.
It does look like the Michigan logo, yeah. Should I
Yeah.
turn it around so you can see the Admirals logo? Would that make everyone feel
I would have
better?
never guessed that's an Admiral's hat. That would have been like the last thing I would have
It's a
guessed.
hockey hat, man.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, reppin' Milwaukee Admirals,
I'm repping,
affiliated with the
bro.
Brewers.
Wait, do
Yeah.
you guys know what day today is?
It
July
is
6th.
7/6/25, which means
It's almost the
it's a good
anniversary of
day.
something, or I think it is the anniversary of something.
Oh, of Sorare MLB?
No,
Okay.
look at this. For all you
Oh, show and
listening,
tell.
Oh.
Show and
I'm
tell.
holding up a scorecard from Whistling Straits Golf
Ooh,
Course, which I do think 3 years ago to the day. I think it was
Was the
the sixth.
sixth?
I want to
I think
say.
you're
I want to
right.
say it
I
was the
think you're right.
sixth.
Okay.
Because our boy Nashi got married almost 3 years ago,
Hmm.
Yes,
and we
sir.
played some great golf before. Treated the boys to
Absolutely.
Whistling Straits Irish course,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
which is still phenomenal.
Are,
Bucket list, but I was like, I found this in the drawer, and I was like, I gotta show the boys. So I
are
think
there
it's three
scores
years, three
on
years
it?
to the day. Guess what I shot? Okay, over under 100.
Over under 100. I'm gonna say we probably gave all of ourselves a couple of mulligans on the day. Probably. I'm
I
gonna say
don't
you
think I
shot like a
took one.
97.
Yeah, I was gonna say just under.
This might be my best round like I've played counting every shot. I shot a 93,
Okay.
including
Wow.
two pars,
Okay.
including
Wow.
two pars.
On
That's
a
amazing.
professional
Yeah.
golf course. Yeah.
And we were playing the tips, weren't we? Weren't we
Yes.
playing the
We were
For
we
some
tips?
had
reason.
to because we were like it's our only time to do this. You
Wait, can
have
we
to
get a
do it.
Why?
quick yardage on
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
tips? Like
Uh
7,400 yards or something like
so
that?
the black is recommended for a 0 to 2 handicap. So
That's
what the hell
us.
were we thinking?
That's
And
us.
yeah, that's exactly us. The rating is a 75.6. I don't exactly know what that means. But the yardage for
Hard.
black is 7,200 or 7,201.
7,200. Wow.
7,200.
Okay.
Yep.
Wild.
All right.
Wild.
So yeah, we did that 3 years
What
ago. There we
what an
go.
experience.
That's
Moment in
like
time.
that's like
Amazing.
4.5 miles.
Yeah. This day in history. This day in history. I know we
There
got
you
one
This
of those
go.
day is.
coming.
Ooh, I got a good one for you today, but that's not for this part of the podcast just yet. Yeah, big golfers over here. I don't get to go as much, but when I get the time, it is always a good time. Practice that golf swing. You know, ever since we stopped playing baseball, we gotta do some batting practice, man. We gotta
Oh
get that
yeah.
baseball swing back in to where it used to be in high school. Hit some dingers, hit some batting practice, batting practice. It'll happen eventually. One day there will be a vlog on the YouTube channel of the batting practice podcast doing batting practice. It'll happen eventually.
Brewers, Cubs. We go to Sluggers, which is a renowned indoor batting cages like 100 feet from Wrigley Field. You can try your
Okay.
own hitting some pitches, and they have fast pitch there,
Okay.
All right.
softball and
That's
baseball.
it.
So we go there before the game. Uh, maybe have a couple beers, and then I think that's what we were missing. I think
Little
we'd
Wade
all
Boggs.
we would all be professional ball players if you could just have a couple before a game.
Yeah,
Yeah, Little Wade
absolutely.
Boggs. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Wade Fox. Oh, that's
Um,
good.
yeah. Well, before we get into the podcast today, I have a quote for you guys today.
Ooh, yeah.
And I want to get your reaction on it. You might have seen it, depending on how involved in the baseball world you were today. But this is a quote from Orel Hershiser, the Little League Baseball World Series announcer, I believe, but also
Okay.
the one of the announcers for the Dodgers. But
Hmm.
yeah, this quote is from Orel Hershiser, former player as well
Hmm.
for the Dodgers. but he came out with this take where the Astros were playing the Dodgers and the Astros were just beating up on the Dodgers and they ended up winning 18-1.
Oh yeah.
Crazy, crazy score. You don't see that in baseball often. You never see that against the Dodgers. You see that for the Dodgers, but not against the Dodgers. And Orel Hershiser comes out and says, live on TV broadcast, oh, I don't want to open an old wound, but in some ways, they're swinging at these breaking balls like they know what is coming. Is that a
Ooh.
horrible take? Is that one of the
Sounds
worst possible takes that you can have in 2025? Or am I overreacting? Is he in the right to be questioning the Astros? I think personally, I think that's a terrible take. It was 8 years ago at this point, and
Altuve's the only
Altuve's
active
the only
player.
one left. Like we have so much young talent on the Astros now. Cam Smith, Dubon. Of course, we lost Kyle Tucker, but I mean, look at their pitcher even today. Gusto, their pitcher today, one run against the Dodgers, and the Astros swept the Dodgers. I don't think it's a fair take to be questioning that if the Dodgers or if the Astros know what pitches are coming again. What do you guys think? From a
Sounds
former player, by the way.
it sounds salty, very salty, which is kind of rich coming from a team that is known for winning a lot. Um, and also kind of they've never been they've never been accused of cheating, but the Dodgers always seem to press the envelope a little bit. They're the team that has what 4 or 5 former MVPs on it, so it's
They got the money.
kind of rich coming from their announcer. They lose one game by a large margin, and he's instantly accusing the other team of cheating. It just sounds very salty, in my opinion, especially coming from a team like the Dodgers. On the other hand, I like the aspect of an announcer actually speaking their opinion a little bit. I feel like that's becoming more common, which I like. Um, Umpires, as we know, have been questionable. It's a hard job, I get it, but I like when announcers are kind of like, yeah, that don't know where that pitch missed. That was a strike, or oh, he's clearly safe. That was a bad call. Like I like that kind of call. I don't like this like beating around the bush. So I give him credit for speaking his opinion, even if it was a terrible, terrible opinion.
Okay. I guess
I,
I never thought about it like that. Like, sure. I
yeah,
still think you
it's
still
it's
think it's a
very
bad take
salty,
though. You're fading
very
his take.
salty.
You're fading
Yeah,
his take.
yeah.
Okay. Andrew,
I'm
what about you?
I'm riding. I'm riding,
No
man.
way. No
Because
way.
because let me give you another
Astros cheating
hypothetical. No, let me
2025.
let me get so what if this fall someone says the Patriots are deflating footballs? The Patriots are spying on teams. Or like, oh man, like did they spy on the practice this week when they're playing the Bills? I don't know, like that's just kind of fun. I think it's like if a team cheats, I think you should be able to kick them as many times as you want. Like
But it's a
it's like
different team except for Altuve. You can kick Altuve.
it's the same. It's the name. It's the franchise. It's the fan base. The fan base is the same. Uh, but I don't know. I like if I feel like I have to agree with it because I would agree with it if it was the Patriots. So if I agree with it for the Patriots, I have to agree with it if it's the Astros.
Okay.
Uh,
That makes
Fair.
sense.
I don't know because like cheaters suck. Like screw cheaters. They should always get punished for cheating. And
True.
yes. I do think eventually, like 50 years from now, if you're like, oh, the Astros cheating, everyone's gonna be, probably we're all be nursing home anyway, so it doesn't matter. Uh, but like, I don't know. I think for now, I'd say the statute of limitations is 50 years. 50 years, you can always just say you're
Okay.
cheating, you suck.
But get over it in 50 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It fades a
I
little bit. It
think get
doesn't. It's
over
not as
it
funny.
now. Get over it now, man. There's
Do
no one left
you
on the
Are you over
team.
the Patriots?
You know what? I'm a fan of Drake May. Bill
Mm,
Belichick's not the coach.
it's true.
He's now the
North
coach of Drake
Carolina.
May's former school, which is kind of strange how that worked out.
Yeah,
I don't know. Go Drake May. I'm not going to root outwardly for the Patriots, just like I'm not going to root outwardly for the Cubs. But hey, if PCA hits a home run, unless it's against the Brewers, I'm like, it's kind of sick.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like it's different too. Obviously, you cheat to win, but I feel like it's different because the Patriots won so much. The Astros won the year they cheated. So I think that also makes a difference. It'd be pretty sad. I think you'd almost feel bad for a team like if the White Sox, it came out they cheated and then they lost 120 games. Like, be like, okay,
Yeah.
like clearly your cheating was not good, not working. But since those teams were so successful, it makes you dislike them more.
And it
Fair.
was the
Fair.
Astros beating the Dodgers too.
Correct.
Okay, wait, yeah, wait, no, no, that's then the statute of limitations is 100 years on that. If the
There's a
team cheats
Oh,
deeper
against you, it's
if
a
it's the
hundred
team
years.
there's a
against
deeper
you,
Yeah,
cut, deeper
yeah,
cut.
that's. Oh wait, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's 100 years. They can. Yeah, they ask Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers. But they got 100 years. Just like we have 100 years on them for getting us out.
okay, okay. I think
Fair game.
before we start talking little so rare here, sure, you can speculate. You can create whatever kind of conspiracy theory that you want to about the Astros reading pitches or not. But the Dodgers played like trash this weekend. They were
Yeah,
outscored, I believe I heard it earlier, it was 34-6 or 38-6 or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Ohtani hasn't done much. No one did much of anything. Muncy got hurt, unfortunately. That was a terrible injury. If you saw Muncy's injury, um,
Yeah.
unfortunate.
He was
He was
playing really
playing
good
really,
too.
really well. Yeah. But other than that, they got smoked. The Astros pitching was great. The Dodgers was not. The Astros offense was great. The Dodgers was not. I swear, I turned on the TV. Christian Walker home run. Jose Altuve home run. It kept happening. But what needs to be talked about is Shohei Ohtani. Where's Ohtani been? Listen to this.
Yeah, okay.
On June 16th, Ohtani had his batting average right at the 300 mark, spot on 300. And he also made his pitching debut on June
Hmm.
16th. He only pitched one inning, if you remember.
Yep.
It went okay. I believe he gave up a run, actually. So it
Hmm.
wasn't the best outing of his career, but it was the first time that he pitched. And this is now, it's July 6th as of recording this, 20 days
Yeah.
ago, basically. Um, since then, his average has dropped 19 points since the first pitch that he threw. He is now batting 281. That's right.
Wow.
Sal Frelick has a better batting average than Shohei Ohtani.
Wow.
That's right.
That's a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. And it's not even close. Sal's got him by 10. But his OBP and his OPS haven't seen as significant as a drop, so he's still hitting home runs. He's still
Yeah.
getting those intentional walks, obviously, but he's not getting as many hits. Do you think this is because he started pitching? Did he have to focus a little more on one part of his game and a little part of his other game slipped? Or is he just in a hitting slump and that has nothing to do with his pitching game? Are we mutually exclusive on those two?
No, I mean, to try to do both at a major league level is insane. And, he did it before, obviously, and he was really good at both, but he's had a year off from pitching. Because before he threw on June 16th, had it been a full season and then arguably like halfway through this season, so 1.5, that's a long time. And to try to get up to that speed, he's probably, I would imagine, leaning more on the pitching side of the game because he's been doing that less, and he probably is, let the hitting slide a little bit. So yeah, I definitely think it like the numbers don't lie. You point to the drop and it looks like it's aligns with when he started pitching again. But I do think he's Otani, and I think come August, maybe even mid-July, he's going to figure it out. He's going to do both at a super high level, or maybe he just leans back into batting. I don't know. Whatever the Dodgers need more at that point.
What do you
It
think,
is
Josh?
it is funny looking back. He's pitched in, I believe, 5 games since coming back. The first one was just an inning. First game he was 0 for 4.
Hmm.
Sorry. He was 2 for 4, correction. Second game, he was 2 for 4, hit a homer. Third game, he was 0 for 4. And fourth game, he was 1 for 4. So you would think in the games that he's pitching, you would see more of a drop off in his hitting. I think it plays a small role. But I think it's more coincidence than anything. Um, Baseball's a hard sport. Hitting's very hard. One of the hardest things to do in sports. So, yes, he's probably focusing on multiple things at once, which is taking away from his hitting. But at the same time, 281 with 30 home runs, that's okay. It's okay. You'd
That's
take that.
it's
You
pretty
would
dang
take
good.
that.
He's still
Yeah.
hitting 30 home
So,
runs, but
so
the Dodgers have been like they're not. You got nothing to worry about as a Dodgers fan, but
yeah,
they've definitely been sliding just a little bit, and part of that is due to Otani's offense.
yeah.
Well, it's not just that. Let me ask you guys this: like, how many in taking this to so rare? How many Dodgers are must starts, or how many guys are you actually putting in your lineup? This is speaking as someone that bought a Mookie. I've had Freddie from a previous season. I have an Otani common. For me, it's Otani for sure. I cannot not play Otani. That's just seems crazy.
Right.
But like Freddie for a long time has been not sometimes not playing. Like maybe he'll feature in a daily lineup, or use him in a daily something. But Mookie, he's been pretty cold this year. I mean, he's producing good for middle infielder, but nothing like no, he's not Cal Raleigh. He's definitely not hitting as good as him. And besides them, who else? Is there anyone I'm miss like pitching wise, relief pitching wise? Like, am I missing anyone that's like just like that are a must play from a Dodgers?
I like playing Alex Vesia. He'll rack up some innings for the
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
I have his limited card, and I definitely let that card rack up some innings for me. Lower tier
Okay.
lineup. He's not
Yeah.
going in my champ one, but
Okay.
riding the bench usually. So, but as in terms of a must start, no. Otani, maybe Freddie, but Freddie's tailed off.
Yeah.
Mookie's not having. In fact, you could say he's having the worst season of his career, one of the worst seasons of his career. Yeah,
And
you're
besides them, they have they
yeah
have they have six other starting players.
right.
Who
Muncie's
who
hurt.
else? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Muncy was actually playing really well. Teoscar had a fantastic
Teoscar
start to the year.
not
Um,
not great recently. And from
Conforto,
we're speaking a lot from a so rare perspective too.
Yeah.
I feel like so if you're part of the show but not a part for the so rare,
or
or
just
not
fantasy
here for the so
baseball.
rare. Yeah, if you're here for fantasy baseball, yeah, you'll probably see the same amount of drop off that these guys are having. Otani, yeah, if you're playing head to head categories, he might win the home run category, but he's not winning the hits category.
No,
He might not be winning the RBIs category if people in front of him aren't getting on,
right?
or if he's batting leadoff and he's not homering, that's no RBIs.
True. I do
So
think it's important quickly to note the Dodgers still are the best team in
yeah,
baseball,
yeah.
which is kind of
We just like
funny.
ragging on.
It's
We
fun to
gotta,
pick
we gotta.
on the
We should be
Dodgers.
picking on
It's
the Yankees more up because the Yankees
true.
have actually slid
Yeah,
down a
Yeah.
damn water slide.
yeah.
But
But
we need to
they
get
are
yeah.
still the best. I still think you're safe to play guys like
Oh
Freddie,
yeah.
Mookie, Otani. There should be some expectation that they're going to score well for you, even if they aren't playing the best. I think it's the expectation that they are still solid, um, higher floor type players.
Oh yeah.
Would you play Jackson Chourio or Mookie?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a
That's a
good
great
question.
question. I think I'd play Churio
Hmm.
Yeah. I think
right
Chourio
now.
has a little bit higher ceiling and is he's on a little bit better of a hitting performance right now.
Hmm.
You don't think Chourio's a higher ceiling than Mookie?
The
Just pulling it
Mookie's
up
got a
real quick.
Mookie can get into
Mookie's
pitches. Yeah.
batting 249. Let's see. He's slashing 249, 322, 396 for a 718 OPS.
Okay.
That's man for Mookie.
Churio
That
is
is not good.
slashing 259, 294 OBP. His walks are just absolute garbage.
A lot of
Yeah.
But he's
strikeouts.
slugging 452. He is slugging almost 60 points higher than Mookie, and his OPS is higher by 30 points.
Higher ceiling.
Okay.
Slugging.
Mookie, if you're a fan
Yeah.
of OPS plus, league average 100. Mookie OPS plus 102. Chourio 107.
Okay.
Pretty
It's
even, though.
close.
Pretty even. Very even.
Churio's going to steal bases. Mookie, not so much. I think I'd give
True.
the edge to Chourio right now. Churio's
Yeah.
also younger.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantasy. Like if you're a dynasty fantasy player, a Sorare player, I think I'd rather have Jackson Chourio than Mookie Betts.
Dang.
IRL? Yeah. Dodgers call up Brewers. IRL, Mookie for Chourio. Do you say yes? Do you say no? Same salary?
No.
Maybe
Not at
this
these
is what
ages.
our off-season podcast can just be
Oh,
pitting two
hypotheticals?
players against one another.
Yeah,
Who would you
I like
rather
it.
have? Yeah.
We'll do like March Madness style.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do March Madness style. Yeah. I like it. All right, we'll table that.
Yeah. Well, let's hop on over because we were hinting at it.
Yeah.
But in fact, let's talk about this for a second. I asked this question before the podcast, so just think about this. In a 3-game series, listeners, think about this. In a 3-game series versus the Astros. I just told you all the stats. How many runs were given up and stuff. How many points do you think Shohei Ohtani had in Sorare?
Hmm.
The answer, 4. He had 4 points in Sorare this week. That is not an Ohtani score. Remember when we were going through Ohtani and Judd scores weeks and weeks ago? There were none close to 4 for a
No.
3-game week. A 3-game game week. Dang. So that's crazy.
And you win without him.
Yeah.
You can.
I was
You
just saying
can
we
win
might have to
without
look
him.
at who are the guys that people are winning with now, because like when we did that earlier, it was like, oh, you don't have a Judge or an Ohtani, you're gonna lose. Like, is that true anymore?
First
Well, I
place
mean-
in champion, limited champion, has an Aaron Judge in their lineup.
Do they have
Sure.
an Ohtani?
No Ohtani. Soto, Lindor, Nimmo. So all Mets. Alonso. Low Mets
Yeah.
stack.
Nimmo hit a grand
Against the
slam.
Yankees. Interesting. And
That's a
then
crazy
Judge
move.
on the other side.
Wow.
Scooble and Munoz.
Yeah, Munoz had a great weekend.
Other than Judge, not the
Hey.
most crazy team.
No.
Second place had a Jackson Chourio in their lineup.
Yeah,
No
Chourio.
Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts. Any Otanis or Judge sightings?
Judge in that one. No Ohtani.
Okay.
I was saying because
Third place had.
The Ohtani lineups aren't winning this week.
Hey, third place was an Astros stack against the Dodgers.
that's a crazy move, but it worked.
Logan Webb, Josh Hader, Isaac Paredes, Yaner Diaz, Cam Smith, Christian Walker, and Jose Altuve.
Wow.
Third place. Wow,
Yeah.
against the Dodgers is stacks.
I mean, that's like what we were talking about with stacks. Go listen
You
to that
gotta be
episode.
bold.
But
You gotta be
know,
bold.
stacks, like very few people were playing an Astro stack because you're playing against Dodgers. But I guess if you're crazy, dumb enough, smart enough to play it, you won. So congrats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well, hey,
fourth. This is a fun lineup. Fourth
We're
place.
we're
Fun.
talking about winning here.
I don't know what that
And-
is.
You
Me
know what that
neither.
is? Have you been at least winning some essence?
No,
I have. Josh.
I haven't.
There we go.
What the heck?
There we go. What the heck?
I don't
All
know.
right.
You set lineups?
How
My
is your
lineups
minors
suck.
team? What does your minors team look like?
You want me to read my minors lineup to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Let's get a guy for guy.
It's lagging. We're lagging.
Okay. Well,
Holy
because
cow.
my minors team, not this week, unfortunately,
Okay.
but I managed to win some limited essence once
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
daily this week, and then last week and the week before, since they added the new prize pool, I won essence in both my minors lineups, man.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
And a couple dailies thrown in there. It's been great.
What you
So
doing,
I'm
Josh?
loving minors. Yeah. What's your minors team look like?
Okay. Starting pitcher is Framber.
Okay. He put up 23. Not great.
Relief
No,
pitcher.
pretty good. Pretty good.
But
Not
also, why are you
okay.
playing?
Not
Why are
like-
you playing him against the Dodgers? Why are you playing him against the Dodgers? Do you not have other options?
No, he
Dodgers
knew.
stink.
He knew. He knew.
Yeah.
That's a crazy-
Dodgers are bad.
I don't know if we could recommend that people play
Oh,
their
second
play
place.
their-
Second place had an Astros stack.
Yeah, but that's
Or
not
third place.
Hitting is different than pitching.
Yeah. What's your
Anyway.
relief pitcher?
Iglesias
Okay.
Okay.
against the Orioles, which was part of the
Yep.
reason why I played
He
him.
doesn't get saves though.
Braves are bad.
Yeah,
Braves are
Braves are
bad.
so
3 months
Correct.
ago, I said
keep
Braves are
going.
good. Now Braves are bad.
All right.
Shohei Ohtani,
Yeah.
Gleyber Torres, who got hurt.
Yeah. That sucks.
All-Star though. He's
Aaron
back
Judge,
today. He was back today.
Aaron Judge,
Labor. Yeah.
Wow.
Aaron Judge put
Pete
up
Crow
Whale.
38.
Armstrong,
PCA 52. Good score.
and Fernando Tatis Jr.
Hmm.
I think you could use a couple upgrades. How much essence you got? How much common essence you got?
430.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and
I
and kind
think
of
you know what? Scooble cost me 300 today, and Scooble put up 39.
I'm
let
gonna
me
be
ask you.
honest. Also have Pete Alonso and Kyle Schwarber, but I put them in my All-Star lineup.
Did you
Ooh.
set that first?
No,
Get
Okay.
wait,
so
before my common
you
team?
do you want to hear something
Correct.
crazy? Before they came out with this common upgrade, I was setting my all-star lineup before my minors
Correct.
lineup.
Yep.
But now I'm setting my
Yep.
minors lineup before my all-star
I,
lineup.
I think that's the smartest. I think that's the strategy.
And
Uh,
I
I've
do too.
won essence. I have seen results.
yes.
I'll read you my team. In fact, I'll go back and read you my winning team
I had a
from
bad week this, but yeah, I had
last
a
week.
good midweek as well.
I had Hunter Brown, Mason Miller, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Pico Armstrong, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Ketel Marte. So Ohtani, Marte, Acuna, PCA, and Judge are my offense. I would take those five over your five. No offense,
Yeah.
because two of them are Judge and Ohtani. You have them, but I would take PCA, Acuna, and Marte over Torres, um, Tatis, and who was it? I don't remember.
Um,
Either way,
Either way.
yeah, I would say you could maybe use a couple upgrades on the hitting side. Maybe trade away. Like Tatis has just not been producing as much,
Well,
man.
Bad.
and let me ask you. So this kind of brings me up to a point that I've sort of thought about, but I haven't like written it down or made it a rule yet. But I always try to think about who are the players in my lineup that are the anchors to it. That I need them to do well. And ideally, because you're submitting in this era of multi-submission, you kind of try to get as many shots as you can. But if all of your lineups look the same, if you have Tatis in every lineup and he sucks or he doesn't have a good game week, you're not going to win. So I try to sometimes intentionally differentiate my lineups because I think in Sorare MLB like it is a numbers game and like some weeks yeah Tatis might go off and maybe those two lineups hit, but more often than not, if you have him in one, I would suggest like almost going away from him in the other one because you don't want to rely too much on like one player. And I've kind of been aware of that too with like I have a Ketel Marte in season and classic, and sometimes I'm like, it's unless the guy is absolutely on fire, I think you probably have more long-term success if your lineups don't look the same than if they do, and you're relying on the same players.
Yeah, got to go by matchup. You got to go by weather, so on and so forth. Do all that stuff too. Nosh, I would say. Well, actually, first and foremost, do you enter a daily common lineup?
Mm.
When I remember.
Okay, so
Oh, got to
get
remember.
on that because you will
Yes.
win common essence, and you can use that common essence to upgrade your common team, and then use that common team to win limited essence, and then use that limited essence to craft yourself your very own junior common arrow, like I did last week. Are we overvaluing essence? You need 1,000 to craft a player, and most daily games, if you're playing daily swing, the one that has rules instead of the 2025 competition, you have to finish top 25%. And even if you're top
Hmm.
25, you only win 25 essence. That's what? One
Not even.
four times, it's 1/20th of a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we overvaluing essence? But if you do that like on a season, over the season, you should, in theory, be able to craft a card between winning essence in your game weeks and winning essence in your daily games. I've been able to do so. And finally, it worked out for my favor, crafting that Junior Caminero. I actually threw him right into my champion lineup. So that was pretty sick. But are we overvaluing it? What do you think? Or
I
does it
think
have its perfect value?
so. I think the value's been good. I think it was too hard to get. So it was undervalued because you just couldn't get it. For me, the biggest unlock, the best change that they've made this year has been the daily challenges, not the daily competition, the daily challenges. One, I'm having a ton of fun with them. I think the what they do or the different marks you have to hit, it's always different every day. I like that. It keeps me engaged, and you win. You win a lot from that. Like you win sometimes 50 essence just for getting one of your players right. And that's more than I win setting my daily lineup most days. Because most days I'm probably, not cracking the top 25% with my leftover cards. But I think for me, with the daily plus the challenges plus what you get from your bi-weeklies, that number, that's the perfect number. But it all hangs, I think, on those daily challenges, which props to the team. I think that's been the biggest win and best use for essence.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I really hope that this translates to Sorare NBA because I
Mm,
lost a little bit of focus
yeah,
at the end of the season for Sorare NBA, and this would bring me right back, but not to get
yeah,
into that hole. Yeah, daily
100%.
challenges have been great. And like you said, they're fun. It's fun trying to pick. Sometimes you got to pick a player to get hit by a pitch. Or
I won
sometimes you
money.
got,
We won
yeah,
money.
yeah. Sometimes you got to pick a player to like,
Grounded a double play. Actually, I
yeah.
don't think they've done that.
Yeah,
I
They
don't
there's
think
haven't
some
done
they've
that
done
good
yet.
that
They
one.
haven't
ones.
done
That'd
that
be
Yeah,
yet. But
cool.
they
like,
That'd be
should.
cool.
They
draw a
should.
walk. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let me look at my players. You know, I'll have vaulted. I have an Arias vaulted. Arias does not strike out. Usually he'll put the ball in play. But hey,
Hmm.
he's a good attempt to draw a walk because he'll foul pitches off. He'll battle. Sal Frelick, he'll battle. I have him vaulted. Maybe I should unvault him because he's great.
But you need him. But he's so good for the dailies. And I
Yeah.
love that they made vaulted like vaulted. We'll have to talk more about that, but that's kind of part of this too. Like
Mm-hmm.
vaulting is like they made vaulting great.
Mm-hmm. And it does, I will say, we're all experienced players who have years and years and years worth of cards. Like we have cards from the first season still, and
Hmm.
we're able to vault them. So it does kind of give the player who A, either just bought a whole bunch of cards, just big whale, gives them a little bit of an edge in this regard, or B, it gives players like us who have slowly built up galleries over time by winning cards, by purchasing cards, by crafting cards now. Yeah, it helps to have a bigger vault for these things, but I've also found like it we kind of deserve it, you know? For playing the game
Absolutely.
so long and earning these cards, we deserve this little extra bit. And even today, what was it? What was the challenge today? It was a money
It was
challenge today.
two hit by pitches, or no, not two. Two strikeouts.
It was pick a player that strikes out
Struck out
two
two
plus
times.
times. And sure enough, Kyle Schwarber did it for you. Nick Castellanos did it for me. The Phillies came through in the clutch. I won
Yes.
$5. Andrew won $5. Nosh,
Did you set it?
Nope. Nope.
you got to do the challenges, man.
Yes. That's why you're not winning essence.
Come
Honestly,
on.
I think doing the challenges is more, you get more essence from that than doing the daily competition.
Hmm.
I think that's more important. Like if you want to essence farm, not aura farm, you gotta do your daily comment. You gotta do your daily challenges.
Hey, if you craft a judge, that's aura farming.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah. So I would say, how do you rank like what we have right now in terms of earning essence? You think daily's probably, or not, the daily missions
Mm.
are
Yes, yeah, it's called mission. Yeah, what
missions,
they
yeah.
are.
The
Yep.
daily missions are probably number one. They're just, all you have to do is pick players in your vault.
Yeah, it's fun.
And you can, I've also done it with common essence today.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah.
If you're playing common and you want to be serious, you got to do that too. You got to do
Yeah.
them,
It
and it's
was
fun.
for a batter that hits one plus singles. Guess what? I picked Bryce Terang. He hit a
Yep,
single today.
yep. It's a
That's a
great
hundred
call.
common essence I just got. That's
Huge.
1/3 of Tarek Skubal that I just got.
Wow.
Yeah, that's more than you win in the daily competition.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Easily.
So that's probably number one. Daily competition is up there, but I think minors, man, common is
Miners,
not,
they made miners great.
they made common great again. They
Pause.
MCGA. They did it.
There's a lot of out of context clips
They did
there.
though. Am I
They
No,
wrong?
did. They did.
sadly, like this is embarrassing, but
Andrew
I
loves
won.
minors.
What?
The competition. That's
Minor
what we're talking
leagues, minor
about.
leagues, minor
It's
leagues.
called minors. It's not called minor leagues.
It's
I
the minor
set 7
leagues.
limited lineups. I won more essence from my minors team than I did all of my limited lineups combined. You're
Wow.
not playing minors. You're doing it wrong, and I'm probably doing limited wrong. So there you go.
Yeah. I think part of my problem is I just need to vault more cards. Cards that play,
Hmm.
players that play that I don't normally put in my lineups, I need to vault, which I was not the strategy at the beginning of the year, but now with the
Yeah,
challenges that are set, the
right. Because
vaulted
the missions did
challenges,
exist at the
you
beginning of the year.
need a lot of my vaulted cards are injured players, players that retired, etc. But you need cards that are playing in your vault to win the vaulted challenges, which is
Right.
easier said than done.
Right.
Big
Would
update,
you?
Andrew, for us. Kyle Tucker, home run for the
Let's
Oh,
go.
Cubs against the Cardinals. I know we each have his card, so there we go.
We do. Played him.
would you guys vault your Challenger 2 lineup, limited Challenger?
Ooh.
Okay, let's say try not to think so much about your galleries because you have bigger galleries than probably the average player. If you were a player who had some leftover cards but not enough to, let's say if there was a Challenger 3 to field the third limited lineup, would you vault that second lineup and use those cards as your vault picks over a Challenger 2
Hmm.
lineup?
I would say
That's a good question.
nowadays with the missions, I would say yes.
I mean, you're probably more likely to win something.
If you can
Right.
survive on energy with one like
Yes.
champion lineup, one challenger lineup, and then a daily lineup or a missions vaulted lineup, go for it. If you can
Yeah.
survive on energy, I would say,
Yes. Yes.
then go for it. If you
But
want to
yeah,
try and win, it's hard to win in
so it's
Challenger.
really
It's
hard.
really hard to
So
win in
hard.
Challenger. I am in 78th right now in Challenger. I'm winning 100 essence, which is sick. But I'm only getting $15 in market credit and then some energy as well. Like there's no cards involved, there's no money involved.
Right. And that's 100 over
I'm not
three
complaining. I'm not
days.
this is not me complaining. I'm just saying it's harder to win what you would consider a good, like a really good prize, like a card or some cash in Challenger. In fact, there's no
Like,
cash in Challenger.
but think about it. Like, if this was a midweek, there was potentially 4 days worth. So you could have won 75. So your max, you won 100 over maybe 44 days. But if you think about it, those cards could have been entered 4 times in daily missions, and you could have won 75 a day. That's you could easily, yeah, win more from like getting top 100. It's really hard in Challenger. Uh, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I would say yes. Yeah,
hmm
assuming you can get the energy, I think you'd win more essence by vaulting those cards.
hmm And there will be some days where you can't enter a full vaulted lineup, like get one plus holds per day or one plus saves per day.
Right.
I have 49 players vaulted and I don't have a single closer vaulted. So those
Right.
days, I'm like, I have Abner Uribe vaulted, which is a terrible, terrible play. I need to play him because he's really good.
Yeah.
But I'll use him for holds.
It's yeah.
I don't have a closer. So there will be days where you can't enter a lineup, and that's totally fine. That's totally okay. You just let that be. Now, if you have four lineups, I would say enter one of those maybe in a daily lineup because you do get five essence every day you compose a lineup. So even if you're composing a daily
Yep.
common lineup, you
Yep.
don't even need limited cards. You're getting five essence per day. How many days throughout the season? 162 games divided by 3 to 4, 3.5. So they're getting what, 50 game weeks a game times five essence? That's a fourth of a card right there just by doing nothing. Nothing. And then if that lineup wins essence, you're getting even more.
I mean, does it make sense to actually buy a closer for
Buying
these daily
buying is
missions?
interesting because
Because I'm
buying
looking
is
at it.
where it gets a
Yeah.
little like how many essence is
Like,
worth you earning versus just flat out buying a card to put in a lineup. I don't know.
mm,
That we need to do some math there. How many dollars is a
oh
hundred
yeah,
or is a
that's
thousand essence worth? Like on average, when you craft a card, what's the average cost of that card? Say it's like $3 is the average selling price for a cost of a card that you craft. You'll
right.
get every now and then you'll get someone to hit Otani, which will cost $100, but most cards will cost $1. But then there'll also be $10 and $20 cards. So let's just hypothetically say like $3 to $4 for a thousand essence.
Yep.
So what is each essence worth less than a cent?
Yeah.
So if you get 5 essence, is it worth like a couple of cents? So if you get 25 essence, say maybe like 10 cents.
Say maybe Essence is worth like a cent.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 cents. Because I'm looking at like Andres Munoz, you can get his limited classic for $3.
Yeah.
Probably even make an offer for somebody, get that less than three.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a stack category. If there's a stack category that you don't have a player for, I mean, and this is in the mid-season. Imagine like trying to make a deal. Like if the Mariners aren't in the playoffs, or they don't make a big run, make an offer for like $1. I
Yeah.
mean, that would pay off,
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess long story short, this does impact players who have a bigger vault, and it's nice because we are all players that have bigger-ish vaults because we play the game for so long. If you don't and can afford to vault a couple of players, you might want to start doing that for those daily missions, man. It's
Yeah.
great. It's great. And you might want to start setting those daily common lineups too. No matter what, I've won some limited essence with daily common lineups, free to play. Hey, where's that road to glory? I want to see road to glory, someone winning in the minors. I want to see him winning
Oh,
essence. I want to see him winning essence in daily games, crafting a junior Caminero, moving up the ranks. I want to see
you could
that.
definitely do it. I think you could do it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
starting with minors, starting with those daily missions. Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into the pickle, everyone's favorite part of the segment is returning here. It's this day in history. And guess what? We're throwing it back to 1933 again.
Hey,
We were
everybody's
just
favorite
in
year.
Oh,
1933. We were just in 1933, and we're doing it
yeah.
again. Not last week, but I think 2 weeks ago. Because last week we had Sandy. But in or on July 6th, 1933, the first ever MLB All-Star Game was
Oh.
hosted at Comiskey Park in Chicago, home of your Chicago White Sox.
Ooh.
And it was the first ever All-Star game. It was dubbed the Game of the Century, and it was actually created
Wow.
from a sports editor.
Hmm.
He proposed the exhibition as a one-time event to coincide with the 1933 Chicago World's Fair. He was like, "Hey, we should have some baseball going on, and we should take the best players from each league and showcase them at the World's Fair." And that's exactly what they did. The American League ended up winning 4-2 in front of an attendance of 47,500.
Wow.
For
Wow.
1933, that's huge. I don't think that many people fit in Miller Park.
No,
I don't
be
think
I
so.
close.
think it's like 45.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do we have
Um
do we have
yeah.
lineups? Do we know?
We don't well, we can look up the lineups if we want, but it did feature players like in the American League. We had Babe Ruth, we had Lou
Mm.
Gehrig, we had Jimmy Fox. Not as familiar with the National League Hall of Famers here, but I have heard of Chuck Klein from the Phillies.
Mm.
We had Pie Trainer, one of my favorite names that exists in baseball. Pie, yes, Pie Pie Trainer, Traynor, Pie Trainer. Frankie Frisch on the Cardinals. It's another name I recognize but couldn't tell you too much about. But it featured both these games. Both of these teams, the American League did prevail 4-2. Babe Ruth, guess what? Hit the first ever All-Star Game home run in history, of course. Of course. But this game, like I said, it was supposed to be a one-time event. Everyone loved it so much, they kept doing it. And sure enough, it became a tradition and it's still played to this day. What's cool is back then they actually wore their corresponding team jerseys, which they're finally bringing back this year. They took it away,
Hey,
but they brought it back. But back then they were doing that. So like if you were playing on the Orioles back then, well, you wouldn't be playing on the Orioles back then. If you were playing on the Yankees back then, you'd be wearing your Yankees jerseys. If you were playing on the 1933 team Cubs, if you were playing on the Cubs, you wear your Cubs jersey during the game. There was no National League jersey. There was no American League jersey. It was just the game. There was no crazy other home run derby or event beforehand. That came later. But there you have it. July 6th, 1933. The
right here in
first
Chicago.
ever All-Star game took place. Chicago. Gotta love it. Babe Ruth, man. First ever All-Star game home run. Did you know that?
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, I'm looking at the box score right now. Shout out to Lefty Gomez, who
Lefty
was the
Gomez. There's another
pitcher.
one I have
Yep.
on here.
It's a good
American
one.
League. Yeah.
Pitcher.
Got the
He
win.
was 1 for 1 with an RBI on top of
Oh.
pitching as well.
Ooh, yes.
So shout out to him. Also shout out to Pepper Martin and Frankie Frisch, who had the
Told you Frankie
RBIs for
Frisch.
the NL. And then a tough day at the office for Mr. Lou Gehrig, who was 0 for 2, had an error, and grounded into a double play.
Wow.
So tough All-Star appearance for Lou Gehrig, but he did some other amazing things in his career, if I remember correctly.
Just a couple.
Yeah,
Just a few. Oh, amazing.
that's cool.
1930.
Don't let the
What a
Cubs tell
year.
you. Don't let them
What
tell
a
you
year.
it's at Wrigley. Don't let them tell you it's at Wrigley, though.
It wasn't. Just like how the Pope was.
I would say it's
They
not their Pope. It's not their
It's true.
ballpark.
not their All-Star game.
It's true.
That's awesome. What a year, 1933, huh?
World's
Yeah.
fair.
Good
Didn't
time to
know
Right
live
in the
in
middle of
Chicago.
depression. Right in the middle of depression.
So that was actually one of the sports editor. His name was Arch. I have it up here. Arch Ward.
Arch Ward. It's
He
dope.
was like, one of his ideas was it could help lift national morale during the Great Depression.
Yeah.
That's a quote.
Yeah, you need that.
Nailed it. Dude, shout out to him. Smart guy.
I like it.
Wow.
Do they got legends? Lou Gehrig?
Lou Gehrig. We did talk about a lot of players today again.
It's true.
Talked about Ohtani a lot, but I feel like we can't guess
Tatis? Tatis Renashi?
Tatis for Nash.
Just rubbing it in. Not even close in the
All
slightest.
right, not
This
even
is good.
close.
Okay, no, we got
Probably
a lot
American.
of info though.
This is good.
It's either AL East or Central, and he's a lefty righty, and he's not Dominican. So lefty righty. How about
Bellinger?
Interesting. Bats lefty,
no, Bellinger's
throws righty.
older.
It's very interesting.
Bats righty or Bats lefty.
Jazz?
Could be like, Jazz is a good guess.
I like that.
Okay,
Okay.
it's not the AL East.
It's
So
the Central.
the AL Central. Interesting. Is it Colson Montgomery just got called up?
Oh. He's probably a little too young, but let's
Probably a
let's
little
send
too
it.
young.
Not the
AL
White
Central.
Sox.
Okay, he's
20
not a shortstop.
25, right?
Yeah,
old's
he's got to
Steven
be
Kwan?
25.
Is
He's
he? I
old.
feel like he's younger than you think.
Is he
I feel
25?
like he's younger. He's 27. He's 27. Okay. Oh, he also
Still pretty
throws
young.
lefty. He throws lefty. He throws lefty. Kyle Manzardo? I'm thinking Guardians only for some reason.
Yeah, we need a
Manzardo.
guardian.
Manzardo. He's
That-
24.
He fits
That-
the bill. Wow.
Hey, okay.
Really well
That was a
done.
pretty good pickle. We haven't had a good pickle in a while, I feel like.
No.
Wow.
Dang. Let's
Shout out
go.
to Kyle Manzardo.
Great mustache. One of the best mustaches in baseball. I
All-Star?
have his common card, but I kind of need to get rid of it, honestly.
Yeah, shout out to Manzardo,
He's
but
only batting like 213, I think.
not the
Yeah.
Guardians. The Guardians kind of stink this year.
Oh, they've lost 10 in a row as of today.
Yep.
Hmm.
Class A blew a save, right?
Yep, on
Yeah.
a pass ball
On a
or
pass ball.
wild
Yeah.
pitch. I don't know which one it was ruled officially.
Probably a
Wait,
wild
Josh,
pitch.
you still playing Jose? Is he a must play?
Oh, I
No
can't.
way,
He's got to
Jose.
be.
I
I
haven't
mean,
been playing him. I haven't been playing him.
what's okay? Now you're gonna make me look up his stats.
Oh no!
All right.
Before we exit here, look up.
Jose
Do you,
Ramirez is hitting 300 this year
Yeah,
with 14 home runs, 39 RBIs, 44 runs,
how many
22
stolen
stolen
bases? Yeah, he's
bases,
gonna steal too, which is
851 OPS. He's a
he's a
136
play. He's a
OPS
must play.
plus.
He's a must
He's a
play.
all
must
right.
play.
So that's
He's
maybe
an
that's why I'm
all-star.
not
He's an
winning
all-star.
because I'm not playing him.
Plus middle oh no, third base, never mind. Corner infielder.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked.
Uh does he have cards that have middle infield eligibility? Maybe? Old season cards? I don't know.
Let's
Either
see.
way.
Oh, you know,
No, he's never played middle infield.
DH
He
though.
I thought
Or
he
no,
played
this
second
Oh,
base for like a tiny
DH.
bit. Oh,
Yeah.
DH, yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a DH Jose Ramirez card from
There you go.
2022.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Middle infielder
Yep.
eligibility.
But
That's big.
from a sober perspective, can you guess what his L10 is?
He put up 27 this week.
It's probably
But can
like
you guess what his L10 over
Pretty
the
good.
last
seven.
I bet it's
3?
higher. I bet it's 9. 3?
Three?
I told you
That
he's been playing bad.
that cannot be right.
No,
Why did I
will.
play him?
No wonder my teams
Well,
stink.
he played really well, or
Why
he
did I
had a
play
good
him?
series against the Tigers, which again, it's a terrible matchup, but against the Cubs, Cardinals, and Blue Jays, A's, Giants, he's been bad. I don't know,
Wow.
guys. I don't know.
Very bad. There you go.
Bad.
When I buy cards, they go bad.
Yeah, Josh, can we make a Twitter account of your buys and just let everyone know who to not like back anymore?
Absolutely. The
Can you
ultimate
buy the
fade.
Cubs? Can you buy the
The
Cubs?
I
ultimate
should.
fade.
You're right.
Yeah.
I should start buying the
Wait, can we
Cubs.
No, don't buy
crowdfund?
PCA because I just bought PCA.
I'm gonna buy PCA.
Yeah, please do.
No.
I have his
Please do.
common. I've been playing his common card.
That's
Does that
good.
count?
All right, good. He's gonna start playing bad. No, we
Jeez.
need money on the line from you.
You're right. You're right. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Not that
Cut.
we're done roasting me.
Cut.
There you have it. Don't forget to leave us a rating wherever you're listening to our podcast. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Check out the socials as well. And as always, until next week, you just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game. Peace.
Peace. Peace.